recording has been started.
So, we last left off on a bit of a cliffhanger. We left off on Helia and Tsubasa being whisked away in a brilliant display of light after having tried to use one of the Keyblade's abilities on a doorway, or rather a closed door. And they were whisked away to a room, darkly lit with only a few points of bright, brilliant light, and it's hard to adjust at first. But it's harder to adjust to your surroundings when the voice of a person who you're not sure should be alive or dead speaks up and says, "Well, it took you long enough." And Valkyr is sitting, well, now sitting across the way from where you guys have appeared in front of a door, dressed in monochrome colors and a cloak that doesn't seem to match him. And there are tables and weapons and empty chairs and two sides of him that are empty as well, on a sofa that looks old and worn, sitting behind a holographic screen lit up with orange and yellow lights. And there's a forge that is dim but still beating with cinders. And in the distance, you swear, you see a familiar mane of silvery purple hair. Well, I have a feeling I know what the first thing you're going to say is. So go on with it.
Helia?
You real?
Yeah, I'm real.
What just happened?
He holds out one clawed hand, specifically his left, and gestures rather openly to just the air around him as he says, "Well, he is in the name."
Can you repeat that one more time?
He says, "Well, key is in the name."
Tsubasa just looking down like, I can't argue that.
Valkyr doesn't move, but seems to be waiting for either of you to.
Why are we here?
What do you mean?
Why are we here?
Well, where is here too?
I believe you should be thanking Purse for that. And he turns slightly to look behind him, and that shock of white and silvery purple mane behind him, leaning against a large set of double doors, red and gold and tarnished bronze, dark against the black tiles and dark greens of the seating arrangements. And standing out against it is a kind of gothic fantasy-looking witch, for lack of a better term, that you've seen around, or used to see around. Persephone is leaning against the double doors in the back, and she looks mildly amused. Heya. You should probably thank me. No one knows you're in here.
Thank you.
Neither of you have answered my question. Where is here?
And Persephone steps forward a couple of strides, pushing off the door and clasping her hands in front of her. Here is a domain of my own design. No one knows you're here once you're here, and you cannot be found unless I actively let them. It's a safety precaution.
So we can talk without someone overhearing?
Pretty much. It does use most of my mana every day, but it's worth it. And she steps back, leaning against the doorway. At which point, Valkyr stands up, and he's as tall as you remember him. Except now he seems to fit his clothes a little bit more muscle and strength than spidery limbs. And he walks around the massive table, face no longer illuminated by the lights in the center of the room. And he starts to walk in your direction. I bet you have a lot of questions. I would too, in your situation. I'll try to answer given the situation, but I
What
can't
situation?
You haven't figured it out yet? That
No, Valkyr, I haven't.
There's a war going on that no one knows about.
What are you talking about?
Sure, there's the war that is on paper. The one against a singular lone king and a queen almost too powerful to comprehend. That's one of the wars. But it's a fake war. I think the term in college, from the Keyblade Academy, they'd call it a shadow war.
But what is it hiding then?
A lot. Sadly, I haven't scratched the surface of it. But what I know is both of them are hiding a lot more than you think. And he steps to be about 20 feet away from you, backlit by the light in the center of the room. And he, for a second, doesn't look like the same person you remember. He's no longer anxious and skittish and doesn't run from a conversation. He looks as if he's much older, even though he still is the same age.
Is this what you were talking about when you mentioned them before?
Kind of. It is difficult to explain. It is, by its very definition, this is a bloodless and bloodthirsty war. No one gets hurt except for those who do, and those who do end up forgotten.
Then why are you involved, Valkyr?
I'm not.
Then why don't you come home?
He frowns. Did you really expect me to leave this alone? Did you expect me to ignore the world falling apart when I wanted to be someone who saved it? Did you expect me to run away when it would kill someone else? Come on, Helia. Have you forgotten what my oath would have been?
No, I just never expected you to leave me behind.
I'm not leaving you behind. You're the one that's standing still.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember? You said you'd chase me to the ends of the earth, but you're rooted. You won't move unless I'm next to you.
I can't chase you if I don't know where you are. If I can't find you.
And you'll never find me if you don't move. So we're at an impasse. How do you expect me to keep moving and keep on with my life when you're determined to never take a step? You know me. I will always choose the future, whether you're there with me or not.
Why didn't you tell me any of this was happening? Why didn't you find me and tell me anything?
Because I can't be the hero you think I am. But damn it all if I'm not going to change the world. And if you're going to stay, which I hope you do, I'd rather you be safe. Because in this, what I've purportedly gotten myself into, I'd rather have you safe than dead.
Did you ever think for a second I'd feel the same about you?
Yes! Yes, trust me. I know. I know if you had the chance, the choice, you would be on the same exact level as me. You would be doing exactly what I'm doing, whether you think you would or not. But if the tables were turned, you'd keep me safe in a heartbeat. So let me protect you for once. I've had enough of being shielded.
What happened to you, Valkyr?
A lot. I got hurt. I found friends. Got waylaid and I found myself. Lost my way and then I refused to break. I could tell you simply, but at the end of the day, no explanation would be enough to explain the hurt that I left you in, and I know it. I didn't plan on leaving for as long as I did. But every plan I have includes you finding a reason to smile again.
Then why are you avoiding me?
I'm not. I already told you. I'm keeping you safe.
How is avoiding me keeping me safe, Valkyr?
You're the one who believes I'm avoiding you. I have not once gone out of my way to avoid someplace you've been. If you're so desperate to believe that I'm avoiding you as a reason for your hurt, that's fine. I'd rather be the reason you're grieving than the reason you're dead.
I'm trying to understand, Valkyr.
Then let me explain instead of just... You're not listening. You just want answers and you don't want explanations. They're different. They're different. You have to give and take. Otherwise, all you're going to do is destroy yourself. And he turns his back to the both of you. Look, I'm sorry for what it's worth. I'm sorry that me leaving has caused such an uproar. I'm sorry that you're hurt and that you feel alone. I'm sorry that you're mad at me. I'm sorry that I had to go. I'm sorry that I went the way that I did. But I will always choose a future where you're happy, no matter how long that takes.
Are you okay, Helia?
I want something to make sense. I'm trying to let Valkyr explain himself. I want to understand why he's doing this. Why he didn't come home, why I couldn't find him for 2 months. Why he never reached out to me.
It's because he wanted to keep you safe. Right, Valkyr?
Yes.
Sometimes being kept safe is something that hurts too.
Helia.
Was that in character or out of character?
That was an on purpose pause. It was to get your attention.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Hate me if it makes you happy, but at least you'll be alive. I've watched too many people rush in thinking that they can challenge something they don't understand. That I don't understand. Only to be forgotten. Please, you need to be strong enough to face this. I'm studying the Queen and the King, and the other two that were lost to history. But I can't do that safely if you're going to be actively chasing me. At least not in a way that would buy you time.
Don't understand what this is, Valkyr. I don't understand why you told me we are on different sides. I don't understand why you're staying with someone who's threatening you. The Black King thinks you're an informant for the White Queen, and I can't understand why you do that either. I want you to explain. Please, Valkyr, just explain.
It's pretty simple, I'd say. You're fighting on the side of the light, and I've been listening to the darkness. You'll find your light, whether it's my memory or your future. As for who's threatening me, I already told Tsubasa that. You're supposed to avoid that person at all costs. Her name is Anastasia Ross.
Why is all of this so much more important than you and your safety?
My safety? This has nothing to do with that. I am safe. Persephone keeps me safe.
If you were safe, then the necklace wouldn't have broken.
I can't fault you there. That was Anastasia's fault.
Then why stay near her?
I do not have a choice.
You'll always have a choice. Explain to me why you're picking this one.
Okay, if you really want to know. I'm trying to find out why the White Queen is the White Queen. Because I figured out that she hasn't always been the White Queen.
No, she switched places with the Black King. We already know that.
Well, it's what we're thinking. We haven't confirmed it yet.
Out of character, Cherry, you kind of did.
I did?
When you talked with the Black King last?
Right, yeah. I don't know if Tsubasa shared... Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it.
I don't think he can share part of it, the fact that she killed him.
Yeah.
But we do pretty concretely know that King and Queen switched places.
Okay. Little brain soup moment there. Let's carry on.
As you say, yeah, we already know that they switched places. He looks a little confused. Well, I'm glad you figured that out. It took me about 2 months and some change to just figure out that. Thank you for the new information, though. It'll help.
Help what?
Setting things right.
They're not supposed to be switched like that, so... The right thing would be to set things right.
Look, both of you. We don't exactly have a lot of time in this place because your friends are going to notice you've been gone.
Yeah, we weren't exactly being quiet before this happened.
I can't take you with me, but Persephone can leave the door open for you. I won't always be here, but Persephone will. If you ever need to get a message to me, you're free to contact her. But that's for later. Do you have any specific questions? Aside from Why the fuck are you being this way, Valkyr? He's trying to joke.
I mean, that's a pretty good question, but I still don't understand why you didn't come home 2 months ago. What happened?
I honestly couldn't tell you. It's all a bit of a blur. I've just stuck to my ideals. To the things that I want to see different in the world. And he turns slightly towards you guys again, raising one hand in a almost Shakespearean monologue kind of way. For the future we couldn't save, and for those who couldn't be found. For the hearts forgotten, and for the spirits broken. For the now, for the then, and for every time we didn't make it. I believe in a world better than what was given to us. And he curls his fingers in close to his palm. Careful now of his claws that he didn't have before. I might have gone through a lot, but I refuse to forsake my ideals. What about you guys?
I'm not going to forsake mine. There's... I guess it's like you, Valkyr. There's just too much wrong right now. Things aren't right.
Helia?
You know where I stand, you always do.
Do I?
That I've always seen how the world could be a better place, and I wanted to do everything I could to make it better. That I believe in hope and justice and good things.
A little bit of faith, trust, and pixie dust, right?
Yes.
Then have some hope that we're going to get out of this. It's too early to be giving up. Don't you want to see the world be better than what it is?
Yes, I always wanted to do it with you.
You are. You are. Me being a knight wasn't the intent. I never wanted to wear some gaudy plate, some armor that dictates who I listen to. That's never what I wanted. What I wanted was to change the world. And I told you, I never wanted to be a hero. All the heroics can leave me behind. I prefer the shadows.
I was always supposed to make the light you could stand behind.
I don't think I need the light anymore. The darkness ain't so bad. You'll always have me, Helia. But I think I need to stand on my own 2 feet for a little while. After all, there's bigger things in the shadows than in the light.
you said that we'd be able to leave a message for you here too, with Persephone, yeah?
Yeah. All you need to do is use your Keyblade on a door that you trust, and Persephone will answer. At which point, Persephone does slightly go, not to be interrupting, but I am running a little low on mana today.
I guess that means we need to go back then.
I don't want to.
Well, you can't come with us. Not yet, at least. We'll be around. We'll keep in touch.
Can I just ask a few more questions?
Roll persuasion.
Hey, dirty 20.
She stares at you from across the room, leaning against that door in a way that suggests she hasn't moved an inch since she last dawdled over there. And her eyes are reflective in the distant dark, like a cat or an ambush predator waiting. But her eyes close, and she sighs, walking over to a table you didn't see before. And because of the light she's giving off from her own clothes, you see a rather large, not quite ether, more akin to an elixir. But it looks half empty. And she downs the rest of it and sets it on the table, leaning against it. Couple more questions. Then we gotta go.
Thank you.
Valkyr does finally turn to face you both again. Well, what's the questions?
How did you end up working with the White Queen?
That's tricky. I'm not exactly working for her. I'm just next to her because I'm valuable. It's complicated. I wouldn't say I'm working with her.
Valuable how?
I am hard to see. Hard to miss if you know who you're looking for, but most of the time, if I don't want to be seen, I'm just not.
But
She
why
doesn't make-
her?
She's not as bad as either of us thought she was. I still don't like her. She gives me the heebie-jeebies. But she gives me the heebie-jeebies, I'll say that much. But as far as I'm concerned, she's not actually as bad as we thought she was.
What do you mean by that?
She has her reasons for being the way she is. I think I saw her writing a letter to a Pendrago before. And you vividly remember from the letter that the initials that were on it were AP, Arthur Pendrago.
The letter that she had sent us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants to meet with us.
Yeah. It wasn't just to Arthur.
Huh. Well, that explains a lot. But yeah, you guys have really made a splash in this shadow war. I really do suggest keeping your nose to the ground for a little while, though. Let things calm down. Learn. Practice. You know?
Yeah.
Does it have to be at the academy?
I don't think Auntie will be able to keep you safe from this. Not for very long. Half the year, maybe. But you'd have to go back to the academy eventually.
Why?
I don't know how else to put this other than it is the one place they cannot see you. Aside from here.
Who is they, Valkyr?
The people who work for Queen. Queen doesn't actively look for anybody. But when she wants to see someone, she'll see them.
Just not
Does it work the opposite way? Can she stop spells that let you see people? Like scrying?
He stammers for a moment. Like, audibly taken off guard. I'm actually going to roll something for him. He goes a bit rigid, seeming to recognize something. Oh, so that was you.
Technically, wasn't my spell, but yeah.
That was one of the days that Persephone was practicing a couple of her non-detection spells. It had gone a little haywire, so while I couldn't be seen by scrying spells, I could still be heard by them.
I heard you talking to someone. You were refusing to spar with them. You said you didn't want to break any more promises.
Well, yeah. I promised you I'd never hurt someone without having to. When we were very little, don't you remember?
No, I do.
The person I was talking to is named Azarath. He's an asshole.
Was that a cherry squeaky noise or a Tsubasa squeaky noise?
I don't know which is allowed.
If you make that noise in character, I just rolled a 25 insight.
Tsubasa does not make the noise in character, but he does internally just go, oh fuck.
Tsubasa just internally screaming.
Surprisingly, Valkyr does not say anything. But he does glance in your direction.
Tsubasa's avoiding eye contact.
Persephone across the way says, "You have time for one more complicated question or two more simple ones. I'm running out of mana like it's clockwork." I really gotta make a better elixir. Just mumbling to herself.
I just saw what you put. Look, it's fine. Tsubasa's fine.
No, he's not. Anyways.
Don't call him out like that.
I can and will out of character.
To clarify, you can either ask one question that will take a while to answer, or two that are basically one sentence to maybe to a couple of words. Maybe like 2 or 3 of those questions. If you need to think about it or discuss between the both of you, I can like put that on pause so you're not running out of time.
I'm just trying to think of what else they could ask, because I've been bouncing off of Helia this entire time.
You also don't have to ask Valkyr. You can ask Persephone.
And then the brain just goes blank. Dial up noise.
You have a purely martial class user in Valkyr and a purely magical class user in Persephone.
Yeah.
They're going to know different things.
God, I really am drawing a blank. Actually, Tsubasa does pause for a moment before he glances between Valkyr and Persephone, and it's just, do you guys know why we can't be seen at the academy?
Valkyr answers with, "Haven't a clue. Just tested it."
Yeah, and
Meanwhile,
he immediately, Tsubasa, as soon as he says that, Tsubasa immediately just sort of locks onto Persephone instead.
the only thing you can see in the very, very dim light of the cinders of this makeshift forge next to her is the glow of her hair. And you can't even see her eyes. I'd take it it's because of the wards. They went down a couple of times. That's how the queen got in the first time.
But there's wards that would be able to protect us.
Yep. Fun little fact for you. Queen can't set foot on the academy. That's why we're telling you to stay.
Because it really is one of the safest place. At least from Queen.
Still does keep my options safe and miserable or potentially in danger, but
At least you
Pers-
can keep in touch with Valkyr?
Persephone speaks up and goes, "Kid's got a point. You can always keep in touch. Now that you know your Keyblade is connected to my domain."
I mean,
You-
that's all well and good, but it's not the same, you know?
Would you rather him disappear forever?
Would I rather live the last 2 months for the rest of my life? No.
Well, now he's here. And he's not leaving. All he has to do is play a good show. That's all. And he's rather good at it.
But the thing I made for us to keep in touch is broken. I made
the
it. I
sending
worked
stone?
hard.
Do you need materials to make that again?
Probably not. I made it once. I can do it again, but it's one of the first things we made together. It was sentimental, you know?
And it protected him with its life. Isn't that enough?
It's complicated, you know?
I get it. Sentimentality and all that. I don't get attached to my creations as much as you do. But I get it.
Because I didn't make it for me.
Oof.
I made it for Valkyr.
Tsubasa, make a perception check.
Okay. 22.
Persephone has the look in her eyes of "Hello, darkness, my old friend," as she realizes something.
Out of character. We all know.
Just the Jesus kind of look of, wow, that was heavy-handed. Heavy-handed and you don't know it. But she shakes her head, clearing her expression of whatever may have been present. If you guys need to, you and your friends, you're welcome to ditch the academy and just hang out in here, build some things, figure out how my elixirs and potions and ethers work. If you can.
Never been
Tell
much of an
Lance I said
alchemist,
hello.
but I can try.
Yeah. Tell Lance I said hello. I bet he misses me.
Is there anything you want us to tell him if he asks, or?
He'll know. He's always been a crafty bitch.
Okay.
I feel like Tsubasa went full error 404 at that.
He did, just for a second, dial up tone, just. Okay.
I need you to understand that I'm only moving her token now, but while that's happening, while Sue and Persephone were having that exchange, Helia's been very slowly creeping forwards. Probably made it to about here.
Yes, Helia, is what Valkyr says.
Could you make me another promise?
Oh boy. What is it?
That no matter what happens, you won't forget about me?
Never.
Would it be okay if I hugged you?
I was expecting it a while ago. And he's kind of half-cocked grinning. And he opens his arms.
Skitter hug. Skitter hug. Gotta hug the best friend.
Oh, a lot about him has changed, Helia. His hugs are still soft and warm like you remember them.
I think it's muffled Sue can definitely roll a perception if he wants to hear what Helia's about to say.
Oh, I mean, Tsubasa also does have the passive perception of 24, so...
Yeah, probably can hear it at that distance. But there's a very sort of muffled, in a sort of answer to Valkyr's, I expected it a while ago. Helia, while she's hugging him, goes, I was scared you didn't want me anymore.
Ah.
Ah.
He holds on in silence for about a minute before Persephone pushes off the edge of the table and proceeds to walk in front of the burning, dying light of the makeshift forge and starts to approach. All right, lovebirds, we gotta get going. At which point Valkyrie just goes, lovebirds?
Visible, uh, visible dual floating question marks. Congratulations, you both get a front row seat to the idiot squad.
Yeah. Tsubasa just reaches out and gently pats Helia's shoulder.
At which point Valkyrie hesitantly lets go. You'll stay at the academy, won't you?
I'll try.
And he grins a sort of lopsided, crooked grin. Well, if you can't get stronger, you can't save your idiot knight in distress, right?
I suppose. If I'll have to find a new stone, but if I fix the sending stones, can I leave it here with Persephone if you're not here?
Of course. She'll get it to me.
Okay.
Do you let go?
There's definitely one, final squeeze from the shorter girl, but she does let go after a moment.
At which point he steps back enough to put some space between the two of you and goes, well, sorry about this, but it's hard for pure light to stay in the darkness. It attracts too much attention. And your keyblade, which shouldn't have been out, but is in your hand again, Helia, thrums with a soft, gentle light this time. And something behind you resonates with a similar glow.
We turn around, I guess. Turn around, turn around.
Do you both turn around?
Helia's kind of looking at her keyblade with one of those expressions that, complicated feelings here.
Tsubasa turns around.
The outline of the door you walked into is glowing. Not a persistent bright glow, but kind of the type you'd see in a video game where you're supposed to walk into the next area.
Yeah.
It's not subtle.
Yeah, Tsubasa
End
just...
of a level door.
Tsubasa just gently nudges Helia. Just, Helia, I think we're supposed to go out that way.
Yeah, I suppose so.
As you instinctively raise your keyblade, more acting on instinct than anything else, Persephone speaks again, and her voice sounds muffled, distant, like she's speaking from another room and raising her voice. Oh, by the way, they probably think you've been gone for about 20 minutes when it's been an hour or two in here. Have fun with that.
Oh.
And you probably have the reaction of, oh, wait, what? Before
Ah,
your
fuck, not
keyblade.
again.
Huh?
Oh, fuck, not again.
Yeah, and your keyblade kind of not. It doesn't do like the fucking Sora thing of shooting a beam of light more than it just kind of clicks against the door handle as you approach it, and the doors swing open. And you're allowed to look back one last time. Which I assume both of you do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are still standing there with their crooked grins and self-serving, satisfied smirk. Both of them roll insight real quick, just for flavor. Both of you. You swear for a moment they seem proud. And then the light overtakes you. Now, we're gonna take a slight break to process all of that. All of you can unmute.
How'd you guys enjoy that, huh?
This is where we're processing and getting down the notes that you guys need.
Yeah. I'm actually going to
Is
scooter
that-
to the bathroom real quick 'cause I need pee.
God damn that. I have so many feelings about that gif, and none of them are happy, Nia.
Hey, Zahn. How do you feel about all that?
Oh,
Did I kill you a little bit? Have we learned nothing from the Greek myths? Don't look back.
oh, I was thinking the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thankfully, I'm not doing that to you yet.
Yet, keyword.
I wouldn't do that one at least.
I'm back. Hey, Rin, I actually want to double check and make sure I'm clear on something.
Mhm.
When you said that it's been 20 minutes versus like an actual hour and a half, who thought it was, who would be thinking only been 20 minutes?
The people outside. You guys spent about an hour and a half of what you
Oh.
processed and believed.
Basically, it's the reverse of the grid. Of what happened to us in the grid.
I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah.
And just the, shit, not this fuckery again.
Ah, shit, here we go again. But yeah, you guys are free to discuss, because I'm sure you guys will do so in character shortly.
Yeah.
Because I have my own notes, and those are fun.
Fucking Azarath gets mentioned, Tsubasa. Ah.
Me writing that down knowing full well I'm probably writing it incorrectly. That looks like how it sounds. Good enough.
My brain is trying to wrap itself around a lot of things right now. I want to.
Please tell me everyone understood what was happening between Valkyria and Helia, even if they don't realize.
Oh yeah, totally.
Romance.
They're stupid, Your Honor.
We have at least 3 potential couples in this session, and all of them are dumb in some way, shape, or form.
They're stupid, Your Honor.
Look, all I can say is it's going to be great when when they get back to the others, and then it's just like do 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 do.
I mean, so is whatever Valkyria and Helia have going on, because God knows neither of them are straight or cis, really.
What's happening? Nobody knows.
Oh, y'all want to know a fun fact about my Sunday game?
Is it cursed?
Probably.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Yeah, we are
Okay, we'll
currently.
wait.
Yeah.
Did you think it was
I
gonna be
haven't been
after
told
an
to
hour?
stop the recording, so.
I'm going to explain this for
forgot-
Kuri. We're taking a pause after a moment where a lot of things happened so that we can all jot down notes and discuss what happened so that it gets cemented in our memories a little better.
I remember. I just forgot we were recording these sessions.
You had a full head empty moment there.
Yeah.
They sure do.
Is there anything else that we need to discuss with this, or are we still jotting down notes? Nobody said you're wrong, then. That's what I'm doing. I'm checking in. What's right? Oh, Nia.
Yeah.
Did you forget to open your notes? Admittedly, I did too until partway through that.
You were busy.
One of
You
these
had
days
things
I'll
to
be
take
able
care
to
of.
one of these days I'll be able to actually get myself to take notes. Today is not that day.
I think at some point I should just send you a copy of my notes and then you can add on whatever you remember.
That probably would not be a terrible idea. I'm just really bad at I've been bad at note taking since I was in elementary.
Yeah, I think if I gave you like the base to work with and you could just slap in additions as you remember things, that might work better for you because then you'd still have the notes.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be all on you.
Yee. I like that idea.
I would be willing to bet it because some of Cherry's problems with writing sound exceedingly similar to mine.
That's a thing.
Dysgraphia?
No, I mean dysgraphia affecting the ability to record.
Yeah. Because sometimes for me, what it feels like is there's a roadblock between what I know is in my head and what I want to write down, whether it's typing or handwriting, or even speaking.
Huh.
Here, Cherry, here's another good diagnostic question for you.
Yeah.
How bad is your handwriting?
Oh, fucking terrible.
I diagnose you with potential dysgraphia, yeah.
I always thought my handwriting was bad though because like I hate handwriting things because it always makes my fingers hurt. My hand and my fingers hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
always thought I
dysgraphia affects those fine motor skills. So you can't hold a pencil or a pen in a way that's good. Ergonomic for your hands. So it always hurts and it's always a pain in the ass. Cherry, I've been diagnosed since I was 8 years old. Yeah, there is apparently. I can't make my hand do it.
You know, I was always told that was because of the supposed ADHD.
They're comorbid.
Oh yeah.
I don't have
super comorbid.
Well, I don't have ADHD. It's because, you know, when they tried to give me the medication, it just made me worse.
That doesn't mean you don't have it.
That could just mean the meds reacted poorly to your physiology.
I mean, fair. And this was back in, like, the fucking late
90s?
1990s. Yeah, so we had Ritalin, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should get moving if you guys don't have any way of discussing what is important to take notes on. At least for right now.
Yeah.
I have my point jot notes that I took down while we were discussing things because I can have stupid conversations and type.
So are we good for now? And you guys can discuss after session?
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the rest of the group, you basically just saw Helia and Tsubasa get whisked away in a dash of light. They seem to have left in the direction of the training room, but the door is locked and shut.
Aster's gonna call out to Arthur and Lex and the others as he's gonna try and run and open the door.
Lex with the open expression of, oh, here we go again. Like not saying it, but he definitely doesn't hide his expressions very well.
Except when he wants to.
Sometimes. I forgot that Lex was cursed with smalls.
Slowly becoming double cursed. He's gonna go ahead and try and just. He's going to try. You said it looks locked, like it locked behind them.
No, you know for a fact that with it being this time of day, which it is pretty early in the morning still, it's locked because every time it's not locked and shut, Lex ends up going in there and training when he should be sleeping. And he doesn't have the key, so...
Don't tell me Helia has the key.
You try asking Helia for something when she's too sleepy to acknowledge you exist.
Aster's scared to talk to Helia sometimes. But he will just look to the others. Locked. What do we do?
I mean,
I have an idea.
Wait, hang on. Out of
I haven't.
character, we heard that last half, right? Because they were being not quiet,
Yeah, you heard it.
experimenting with tequila.
Should we try?
Stand back, I got this.
No, I mean, I'm asking the question if that's knowledge we know, and if
Oh.
it is, then I feel like it's not a leap to be like, this was. It seemed like this was partially on purpose.
All of you roll Arcana. With advantage, because you guys are slowly getting used to your Keyblades.
19.
12.
19.
Give me a bit.
Hey!
How is the Arcana cleric rolling the lowest? Hello? Yep, okay, apparently he's just not paying attention. So, Esther and Arthur, you realize pretty quickly, and almost instantaneously for that matter, that, yeah, it's definitely related to the Keyblades, and both of you almost at the same time. Yeah, Lantheo as well, you put it together a little slower than the two of them, but you get the same conclusion of he is in the name, and it is a magical item, for lack of a better word. So there's definitely magic involved, and it is a key, so they might be in a different room.
I'm not too worried about them. They're smart enough not to be able to get back. If this was somewhat on purpose.
True, but we got that weird cryptic letter. Was it cryptic? I don't know. I'm still new with you guys.
Where is the letter?
Still on the table.
Razz, was that like a Razz in person question?
Yeah. Just make it character doesn't know. She doesn't know. Does she know?
Because you have eyes!
Bold of you to assume she uses them.
Object.
Her brain cells, but I assume she uses her eyes.
What's that, Kay?
Huh? What? No.
Such utter chaos.
I mean, we could still be proactive about this. Anyone have any ideas?
We use phone. What's the worst that could happen?
Don't jinx that, actually. Not around this group. And looking between all of you. Sorry, was that rude?
No, that's a fair point.
Oh, okay.
Did you have
Try our
something?
Keyblades?
I mean, yeah, it's a possibility.
Aster's gonna summon his Keyblade and kind of pointing at the door. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Roll
Hold on,
Arcana.
Why should we have
19 again.
You do recognize that there's supposed to be something happening, but for some reason it's not connecting to whatever's on the other side that you're supposed to be unlocking.
Looks at Arthur. It ain't working.
No,
Hmm.
I think you have to like turn it like you're unlocking something.
He turns it.
You can have your wrist like this way specifically.
I know how to turn a key, y'all.
Lex is
And
poorly muffling laughter.
I'm turning the key. What was that? Are you laughing?
No, maybe if you turn it the other way.
I am turning it every way it can be turned without hurting my wrist.
It could. As much fun as this could have another component outside of our control.
Razz, get over here and try and help me.
Okay.
She throws herself at the door.
You just get another way.
Aster fully registered Arthur's idea. Probably the smart idea. Razz is here. Never mind. Let's try it the dumb way first.
Arthur, are you looking at Lex?
I was gonna make a cheeky comment, but simple answer is yes.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Without a roll necessary, you see him gently set down Junebug next to him and set down the Aura Lion on the floor as all of this chaos is happening. And he just snaps his fingers in like one of those silent clicks that you learn from talking to people who know how to like rear an animal. And there's a spark of not divine, but purely arcane magic that sparks off the end of his fingers. And his eyes flash with a couple of different colors. He just looks around for a moment. Roll Arcana. Or Intelligence, whichever one.
There's my intelligence.
You got this. I believe in you.
That one's fine. Eh.
You've seen him do this a couple of times before. You know it's a spell to detect. You don't know what he's detecting.
Hmm. What are you detecting, Lex?
I'm looking for different magical signatures. So there's a bunch of darkness around here. It's not malignant, I'll say that much. There's no malice, it just kind of is. And he just absently kicks at a spot on the floor in front of him. Yeah, there's definitely darkness, and there's traces of everybody else's magic, but... Oh. And he looks at the door. That's weird.
How weird.
Um,
There's a big bar here.
On a scale of like pole dancing polar bear to milk before cereal, how weird?
that's a teleportation gate. Staring directly at the door.
Question.
Hmm?
Could I try to cast sending one of them?
Do you try?
I think
Do you have the spell?
I do.
It's not jarring so much as it is confusing when you try to get a sending spell. Simple spell, you've done it a couple of times before. Echo, by the way. But you find yourself confused. Because it's not like screeching in the ears or anything like that. It's just the empty silence of a vinyl disc that has no music on it. You reached something, but it didn't connect. It's kind of like getting the provider over the person.
Oh. That's
Yeah, essentially.
I don't know if it's all magic that can't get to them or just sending, but I can't like contact like good.
Well, why don't we just wait for them?
Such a great answer.
That is a good option.
Are you actually going to consider it?
I mean, I said they could be proactive.
Razz starts jangling the doorknob again. Anyways.
Fucking Looney Tunes bullshit.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
Arthur, what's your passive perception?
18.
Yeah. As they're jangling the doorknob and they're trying to figure out what's happening with this particular teleportation gate or whatever the hell it's turned into for the time being, out of the corner of your eye, you see the double doors on the other side open up. And it's glowing slightly.
Glowing.
Yes. That's kind of soft video game light of walking through another level.
Almost as close as the other was glowing door.
No, it's at the end of the hallway.
Ah, okay.
The double doors.
Cool. That one.
As you approach, you hear muffled voices. Distant in that sense of speaking through satin and silk and cloth and wool, everything muffling together, and yet you still make out familiar voices. And then, walking through that light, is your friends.
Oh, hi.
So we walk through and we get to see this scene in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tsubasa walks through, stops as he sees this going on. It's just like, hey, guys,
Why are they assaulting the door?
Tsubasa and Helia already running.
Tsubasa having that moment of, ah!
Scoops them both into an aggressive hug because she wasn't sure if they were dead or not.
Aster just standing there with the fucking Y position. Oh, did y'all go?
Tsubasa's just gently patting Razz on the shoulders, just like, it's a little complicated. Helia, do you want it explained, or?
Helia, who I imagine has a clear view directly to Lance, points at him and goes, Persephone says hi.
Lance does sort of like just lifts his hands up in like a cheering motion, then just pauses for a moment. Like, just
buffering.
Yeah. Wait.
And who's Persephone? Is this somebody that I missed?
Short answer, my work wife. Long answer, one of my my only old dorm mate.
Sue,
had a
what
boyfriend.
did she call him? What did she call him when we were talking? Crafty bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Recognizes real.
She did say crafty bitch with a very affectionate tone, so I believe it was positive.
As I said, real recognizes real.
But we are fine. We just ended up in a pocket dimension?
Phantom zone.
Something.
No perception zone.
Persephone voice, y'all didn't ask any questions of me.
They didn't seem important at the moment. Helia had other things on her mind.
Tsubasa was
Persephone voice
recognizing.
sucks to suck. That's Persephone's whole deal, by the way. It's just sucks to suck.
Is Razz still holding on to Tsubasa?
Yes.
Yeah, Tsubasa's just hanging now, just like this. You might as well happen sort of position.
Yeah.
It's just like, I promise, guys, we actually are fine. Nothing happened.
She lets go reluctantly. Nothing happened. No, a lot of stuff happened. It sounds like.
Well, nothing happened.
Complicated amount of things happened, but nothing
Dangerous.
bad? Helia looks and also looks at Sue and just nods like, yeah, that's also a way to put it.
Okay.
You guys didn't break the door, did you?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
We tried.
Don't break that door. It's the only thing keeping Lex from being,
Tsubasa
in their
actually
training when Arthur tells him not to.
Tsubasa actually reaches up and just sort of puts his hand on either side of Razz's face. It's just like, please don't.
Leave it alone.
Wriggles her nose. Okay, I guess.
Helia,
Yes.
out of nowhere, while you had probably forgotten for a time, your Komori bat peeks out of your hair with a brrr
Hello,
just
little
shakes-
baby.
and just shakes their head and just brrr.
Little scritches.
Have they been with us the entire time?
Yes.
She was sleeping.
That's a dangerous animal. No, he's not. We're just looping. Nick has gotten that stuck in my head.
Should we sit? I feel like we should sit, because that was a lot of shit.
I would like to sit, yeah.
All our stuff still in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, Razz, you can fuss over us in the kitchen.
Okay.
Is this... this is gonna sound mean. Is this the normal that you guys were talking about?
Well, we don't normally do the disappearing thing, I will admit that.
Yeah, that's saved for Tuesdays.
Lance.
On Wednesdays, we're pink.
Ah!
Helia jokingly bopping Lance on the back of the head.
You wound the lance?
Why are you talking in the third person?
Were it not for the laws of physics, I would pick you up and yeet you into the kitchen.
I can
You-
help.
I mean, the laws can be finicky sometimes.
Sir, I am made of pipe cleaners and perfectly cooked noodles. I'm not picking up shit.
Fair and valid. Also, you just went through a very weird experience. Looks at Arthur. Again, that's not the norm, right? Just double checking.
I feel I'll let you be the judge of that when things happen.
I'm not even the judge of my own person at the moment, dude.
Oh, I said later, not now.
I know, but horrible. Razz.
Razz.
Tsubasa
Wait,
just
no.
goes and slumps in one of the armchairs. Just, I'm done with today. I've been kidnapped twice now.
Oh fuck, we gotta study for finals, don't we?
Yep.
Still like the morning?
Yeah.
No, you know what? Aster's going like, is this the normal?
What a great way to start the morning.
This
It
is
is.
morning?
It's around noon at this point, yeah.
Oh wow, so kidnapped before it was even noon twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
Tsubasa's just gonna
you
be
two.
slumped.
I need help doing something later. You guys mind tagging along?
Sure.
Aye, Captain.
I gotta find some, what was it? It was, gemstones for keyblade making. I have it down, and like he pulls out an actual notebook. I wrote it down after.
I will remind you out of character, Kuri. Tsubasa did say he already had the components.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
This is me giving an excuse to actually pull out my real notes.
You don't need an excuse!
I hope it starts what you go through.
Yeah, no. The man's not even here.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Anyways.
Gonna move into the kitchen, or we can stay out here.
Oh, I'm finding my computer right now. Hold on. Motherfucker.
Okay, so I'll just preemptively go
Stop.
into the kitchen.
Yeah.
You guys go ahead. I'm still fighting that bitch. It's moving my D&D window over onto my side monitor.
Ooh, fun.
We'll just kind of come back in. Head pat the cub if you can.
Both of the animals in the room that are not attached to a floof is currently just bombarding Lex with attention because apparently Junebug sees it fit to preen his hair, and he's just, this is the thing he's dealing with now. Must preen the boy. It's very much the mama bird energy of you're a mess. You're a mess, how dare you? Around me?
So do you guys want to talk about what happened exactly?
Well, Sue can, I mean, correct me if I get anything wrong here, but we went somewhere, and Persephone and Valkyr said nobody would know we were there.
Yeah, we were hidden or something like that. Nobody would be able to see us there.
That
Um, I believe Persephone made it somehow.
That's what Valkyr said, and Persephone was definitely the one maintaining it. She was talking a lot about the mana.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of mana.
Yeah, we technically got chased out. We couldn't stay for much longer. But, Helia finally got to talk to Valkyr, so... But apparently it's safer for us to be here at the academy for now.
Yeah, fun fact, Echo Curry.
Damn it.
I heard my own voice. Fun fact. The White Queen can't set foot on campus.
What?
There's wards, apparently, that keep us actively protected here, even from her.
If she can't step foot on campus, how come? Well,
King can?
yeah.
Maybe he was invited?
maybe he's the one who set up the wards.
No, that doesn't seem like his sort of thing, I think.
So
Maybe?
king and queen are like vampires?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Razz, please.
Yes. Please.
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I assume so, but have you been keeping Lex up to date on what you guys have known?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly.
I mean, that makes sense. As the person following Arthur around, he should know the stuff we know.
I know Tsubasa hasn't been making any effort to hide it from Lex.
As you guys are going back and forth about the possibilities, Lex speaks up in the middle of the jumble and goes, "Well, you said they were switched. Maybe at their core, you know?
They're
Maybe,
still the same.
yeah.
So, well, they've switched. Maybe they've just switched powers, abilities, and titles. And while reality switched to affect our perception of how things should be, maybe whatever happened couldn't fundamentally change who they are.
Yeah, when we talked to King, I believe it was when we Soulless, he definitely didn't. He admitted that he didn't know his way around the Gloom.
I mean, when I talked to him, he just sort of seemed sad.
He's survived.
Kind, even though he was judging my terrible child craftsmanship. But anyways,
And something really isn't right with whatever's been happening with King and Queen.
yeah.
But at least we know that Queen can't even touch us here as long as we stay here.
So we're safe from Queen on Academy grounds as long as the wards stand. And the wards are strong enough. I assume there's upkeep of some kind on them?
Probably.
I mean, that would
yeah.
make sense, right?
Can I roll history to see if Tsubasa knows anything about the wards?
You would not.
Unfortunate, okay. Can I roll Arcana to see if he knows anything about wards in general?
No.
No.
Damn, okay.
Translation, you're only a first year.
Second year, can I roll?
For God's sake.
I think that's a no.
I mean,
Hey,
yeah,
Question.
yeah.
This is Aster speaking. I have to clarify this. I forgot to do his voice.
Oh.
If it's a ward on the on school, is it campus or school grounds?
The entire academy, from what I understood.
yeah.
It's a fucking big ward. Surely there'd be markers of some kind.
Well, if the wards went up when the academy was founded and created, they could have built them right into the architecture. Nobody would ever see them, really.
Yeah.
Unless you know what you're looking for.
True.
But, I mean, as long as they're functional, I don't think we have to worry about them.
Yeah, I don't think we need to actively seek them out.
Yeah, I feel like we'll know if something happens to the wards.
Yeah, for right now, the important thing is that they are able to keep us safe still, so.
Question.
Hmm.
Do you think something happening with the wards could be why that Gloom dragon got in?
I think they did mention that they've gone down a couple of times.
That could explain the dragon and that Soulless, where you heard Sue, you heard Queen's laughter, right, from the Soulless that attacked us? No. Gloom?
Did
It
I?
was a gloom.
It was a Gloom.
I did? Out of character, I can't remember.
This was when Lex got hurt.
Oh,
Training
right,
just
yeah.
after we got back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
there you
in
go.
which case Tsubasa's just like, yeah.
Oh, I forgot when fucking me and Lance got our keyblades, there was a fucking nobody here.
And didn't
So-
we see a bunch
the
of
one in-
those weird boxy heartless Helia?
The glitched.
Yeah.
Yeah, the computer code Heartless. And you see Helia physically pause and buffer. In the former vice headmaster's office. Since he's been removed from power, there's only been one incident of things happening.
Yeah.
You don't think he had something to do with it, do you?
It's possible.
I'm not saying correlation equals causation, but events line up.
What would you have to gain from that, though?
Well, we could ask somebody.
I have another question.
Well, we'll file that away to ask maybe one of the teachers about. They might know, they might be able to share. What's your question, Razz?
Who did it after he was gone?
Yeah. It could have just been a flicker in power or a temporary weak moment for all we know.
Or he could have still managed to have done something.
Or maybe
From prison? Unlikely, but possible. Again, something I think we're going to have to ask a teacher or maybe the headmaster or the grandmaster.
Yeah, looks like we don't have anything solid. Let's put him on the cork board as a suspect. Put a red line around it.
I think we probably should try to figure that stuff out after the midterms, though. Because aren't they in just a couple of days?
Yeah, midterms week starts in about 2 days for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably focus on studying for now.
Well, there is one other thing,
Yeah?
Sue. Apparently, what we know about the war, it's all a big show. The real war is some sort of shadow war. And everybody's hiding something, so we should keep that in mind if looking at the entire group. As I assume none of us are going to keep our noses out of this.
Tsubasa's just shaking his head.
Well, I'll keep my nose out of it for long enough to keep up my grades.
Yeah. Valkyr did recommend we keep our heads low for a little while. Let the waves fade into little ripples before we really start poking around again.
We've made that big of an impact, then?
I mean, the White Queen does want to talk to us.
I think when we talk to her, we should play our cards carefully. I don't think we should let her know that we know her and King have switched places somehow.
Of course not. No, just... I would like to know why she paints King as the villain that she does.
I mean, we can try and figure that out, but I don't think asking her directly would be smart.
Razz,
yeah.
roll a wisdom saving throw.
You're right.
I believe in you. You've got this.
Oh.
As they're talking about why Queen would paint him as a villain, paint him as someone worse than what he looks to be, you remember the moment you touched his keyblades, the twin daggers that looked much larger than he should be able to wield. More like short swords or even long swords at some points. They looked too sharp. And yet they looked never used. And you remember the visions that you got when you touched the keyblades. Of a city crumbling and him running.
Is that in character?
Yeah.
Huh?
Was that in her?
It's something up, Razz?
It could have to do with be retribution. Could be.
Retribution?
You're cutting out a little bit.
Sorry.
Retribution for what?
For running. I touched his keyblades and they didn't. They were his, but they didn't seem like his. And I got to see a couple snippets of his existence.
Where was he running from?
A crumbling
cut out.
City.
A crumbling dot dot dot.
Oh, crumbling city.
Were there any defining features of the city? Maybe if we... Well,
Well, it still doesn't make it right if he's being treated like this because he ran.
There's a lot of running.
Razz.
Hmm.
You don't remember any defining features about the city, other than it was crumbling into ruin faster and faster. But you do remember a very brief flash of eyes turning upward, and one by one, the lights in the sky started to flicker, dim, and wink out.
Die.
What?
Did you just say die?
Yeah.
Okay. What died?
Sorry. What?
All we heard was you go die.
Oh, I was just. Sorry.
That's
was
so
just-
funny.
I was thinking maybe that's how he died. His vision went dark after, or at least the
Out
lights
of
went
character,
out.
I don't think that's accurate, knowing with what I know about the rough timeline, but in character, Helia just shrugs.
Wasn't the
Well, as Lex speaks up, leaning back a little bit in his seat, which upsets Junebug quite a bit because how dare you?
You moved. How offensive.
Yeah, it's you go straight to hell moment. But, oh, I don't think we should dwell on this much longer if we want to study for midterms, or at least you guys. I apparently have days off. And he mumbles something. What's the passive perception of everyone at the table?
18.
18.
20.
Does a 24 work
Hey.
for me all the way over here?
No.
Unfortunate.
Mine's 15.
Those with 18 and above. You hear the sad tone of, well, it's not like I had my rank to begin with.
Anyways.
By the way, Lex, I know that my father won't apologize about anything that he's done. So, I am, for what it's worth, I am sorry that you had to be under him.
Oh, it's okay. He was making me stronger. With the brightest smile.
No.
Tsubasa, who was coming over to get some of his books to study, just freezes for a moment. And just... I don't... never mind. And just grabs his book.
Just the most innocent puppy look of, what did I say?
Just... It's more the fact that... Do you... I think he was doing it the wrong way.
The fucking whoa, I don't know what's happening, look.
Tsubasa at this point is just like, alright, I've embarrassed myself by talking enough already, skitters back to the shared study.
Lex,
Yeah?
what he did to you, a lot of people would call that training. A lot of people would call that abuse of power.
But it was training.
Yeah. So's doing a puzzle. It's about the kind of training. And that wasn't good training, not for you.
Okay.
I love Lex so much.
Helia, silently, I'm going to take that as he's understanding.
They're a third. No, he's not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if he got that through.
Is that a real okay, Lex, or is that a? I don't know what the other one would be.
He turns to face you, and it's just the most dial-up 404 error of just, I don't know what any of you were trying to tell me.
It's just gonna look at Helia and the others. Can I be blunt with him?
You can try.
I don't think that the bluntness, how blunt we are, is the point.
I think we should leave this to Arthur as someone who knows Lex better than we do to explain.
Oh, that's fair. Arthur, you got this?
I can try my best, but my previous attempts have been not much leeway.
Do you need help? I don't know how to help, but we can try.
No, I'll see what I can do. I'll try my best. That's all I can say.
None of these kids know how to explain it.
Out of character, I feel like we're running out of ways to explain it,
I
so...
don't think it's supposed
We
that
actually
not
are
know
out
how
of character.
to.
We actually are running out of ways to explain it.
It's just
think-
because of how
I-
Lex is. He's just
I
not
think we
fully
should-
grasping the concept. Sorry, continue.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was just gonna say, I think we should get a spray bottle and start getting them.
I don't think that would help.
No, I don't think so either. But
He looks between the both of you as you're talking and basically deliberating in front of him of just, no, I don't think it's going to work. He hasn't been responding to it, basically anything I've been saying, and just going nodding along kind of energy. He narrows his eyes, and for a second that sunshine facade drops. Something more serious and solemn. And then it's back up, and he goes, "Oh, it's bad that he hurt me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Training
Did anyone
isn't
notice?
Training isn't
continue,
supposed to
Brandon.
hurt you like that, Lex.
What's up, Arthur?
Did anyone notice his changing demeanor for a second?
You're free to roll perception.
Persephone.
Yep. You have to have at least 17.
Tsubasa just barely knows it across the fucking room.
Ow.
Well,
Hi.
Well, this is not just Arthur.
Yeah. Arthur and Lance don't notice a damn thing.
No, no,
Arthur will
no.
help.
All of you who rolled 17 and higher, you notice the very minute detail of he looked to actually be trying to understand what you're saying. And then it clicked visibly in his eyes of, oh, this was a bad thing. It was not just training. The other two of you, you saw his expression darken, but you don't see the minute reactions.
But yeah,
Helia will nod, like, yes, it was bad. You got it.
yeah, like Tsubasa had spoken up as well. Gonna just like, yeah, no, training is not supposed to hurt you like that.
Out of character, I feel like if I want him to understand, I have to talk to him like he's a child, and I don't want to do that.
I'd say you, of all people, understand that most of his training was akin to being homeschooled by a bad teacher. So while you don't want to talk to him as a child, it's best to explain it as you're not talking to him as a child, but you're breaking it down into simpler concepts. Because a lot of what's happening around him is an adult world trying to tell him he's older than he is.
Be straightforward.
Use simple concepts.
Yeah.
Arthur would know that Lex thinks in simple concepts. Everything he does is weird and off kilter for the sole purpose of most people believe he thinks more than he actually does. Like, that sounds like I'm saying he has no brain cells, but it's actually the opposite. He thinks himself into a corner and then proceeds to break it down into the simplest thing he can think of. Like protect or defend or something like that.
I can work with this.
Mhm.
I can do something with this. Thank you.
Head too full, no room for big thoughts.
He's always moving. He's always got something to do. So he genuinely does not have time to think abstractly. It's this or that.
So, just to be clear, out of character, when we're talking to him and trying to explain something, be very literal and straightforward. And if he doesn't seem to be getting it, try simplifying the concept a little bit.
Yes.
Gucci.
Okay. Anyways.
For frame of reference, you guys were saying this was an abuse of power. This was like him abusing this or making this worse, or to him it sounded like this is all out of character, but to him
Yeah.
it sounded if you were saying absolute power corrupts absolutely, which he already knows. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So reducing it down to this was a bad thing for someone to be doing.
He should not have done that.
Pretty much. Less talking to him like he's a child and more simplifying what you already know.
Yeah, okay. So, put the choo-choo train back on the tracks now.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Quiet. Sue in the corner. Right, we were going to do studying things, weren't we, before everything
Yeah.
happened so much?
Yeah.
Tsubasa just holding up one of his textbooks. Just like already studying.
I need to go grab my textbook, don't I? Fuck. And as he's gonna run and grab his textbook, and as he heads to the door, he's just gonna pat on Lex's head. You are a good kid. Before running off.
Meow.
Mm.
So, are you actually going to go over the things that you have, or have you already done that?
I think we've. I mean, I've gone over my questions time and time again.
I'm going to drive Kuri insane with the Artificer
Please.
second year questions.
No, we did that already to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. For reference, I had to find my old college notes for my electrical wiring class just so I could be of some help to one of the questions.
It was actually quite spectacular how deeply he was diving into all of this.
Because I studied for 3 years on this.
He
If
started
you guys
going
have
into...
no other,
Oh, sorry.
if you guys have no other scenes you want to run before midterms week starts, and I ask you these questions, we can do that.
I want to run a scene real quick.
Okay.
Can Aster go talk to his aunt?
I'd say because it's so close to midterms, she would be preparing for things to go
She's busy.
smoothly. Yeah. She's
Then-
a little busy.
Go on to the very next person he can think of, Uncle Cayde.
Oh god. Why?
You don't think the vice headmaster wouldn't be busy either?
Well, okay. Listen. He's a glorified vice headmaster. He doesn't have a job here.
He's a
It's
position.
close enough!
He's there just to fill out the position.
He's also a commander, so I imagine that also keeps him fairly busy.
Yeah, but it's also Cayde. Let's remember that.
Point.
Yeah. That was gonna be my ultimate defense. I know Cayde and I know Rin.
Why are you seeking him out, first of all?
I have questions, and I fully understand, like, Aster-wise, Auntie or Cayde would be the best choice to ask these questions to, because these are more personal questions than student-to-teacher questions.
You gotta give me a frame of reference.
I have growing pains. Aster wants to talk about them. You don't go to your math teacher for that.
It's funny that you should mention Cayde because of the shit being talked about the GVS version of Cayde, so... You remember that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, sure. God damn it. So, I'm not gonna pull up an actual map because I think this will be a relatively short scene. But you do find currently Vice Headmaster Cayde Pendraka kind of lounging underneath one of the sakura blossom trees, looking as if you're not sure if he's asleep or not, but for all intents and purposes, it's safer to assume that he's not.
Aster's just gonna, like, stand on the edge of the blossom tree and then just looking directly at where his eyes would be opened, changes into his aunt just to see if that gets a reaction before changing back, remembering it's Cayde.
Yeah, you want to try that in front of Cayde?
So, gonna guess that would have been bad because you would have told my aunt about that.
Like she wouldn't already know.
I mean, if it helps any, I've gotten her consent to do it for pranking you specifically.
You see like a brief instant of contemplation on his face. And then shakes his head. What do you want?
I got a question for you, and I don't want you to answer it as Commander Cayde, but Uncle Cayde. Is that okay?
Yeah. Have a feeling it's going to be a tough one.
Well,
But you're
let's hope
asking
not.
at school, too.
I didn't want to go to your house because I didn't know if you would be home or not.
What do you need?
Well, we're at school because this is where you normally are. And you said because we're. Did Kuri mishear you?
I said, what did you need?
Oh. As you can see, I'm definitely not. I don't look like Caesar anymore. I go by Aster now. And I kind of changed into what felt comfortable. And this is comfortable for the time being, but it doesn't feel right.
Cayde raises a brow in that sense of he doesn't seem to understand what you're going on about.
My face feels weird, and because I can change it, I don't know what to change it to. Should I keep it the same, try to go back to what I was doing before, or third option? I don't know.
I think you're talking to the wrong person.
If I ask Dad and Auntie, they'll say they'll love me either way, and Auntie will give me a sort of like intentionally silly to make me laugh answer, and Dad'll just keep trying to make me, feel better about changing.
No. I'm saying it's a bad idea to ask me because I don't see the body of the person. I see the soul.
You
You know,
see
he's
soul?
he straight up is just like, this is a bad question for me.
How do you do that?
Comes with the territory.
What territory?
Being a lab experiment.
Okay, so I can't ask how to do that.
I wouldn't suggest it. Hurts like a bitch.
Motions to himself.
You think that hurts?
Forcing myself to keep the body shape and size of Caesar. Imagine tensing all your muscles way past the point that they lock up. That's what it felt like.
Then stop. Let
I did.
yourself exist, dumbass.
I'm trying. I even stopped forcing myself to have that weird accent, which I got a question. My memories are like half of his. Where did that come from?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I can give you the answer to that. You're not gonna like it.
I know I'm not gonna like it, but I kind of want the answer now because... And at this point, he does take a seat just outside the cherry blossom tree. Because at this point, I know you're gonna be honest with me, and you're either gonna fuck with me by being honest, or lie to my face. And I'm scared to find out which is which, because you have the best poker face.
You haven't seen my poker face.
Your face changes?
I feel like I just felt Cayde have a moment of why? Why am I in this conversation?
Aster's full on giving that shit-eating grin of just haha.
Even worse, his expression doesn't change. It's just the internal reaction of, this is why I don't have kids.
No facial change. You're the reason I will never have children.
I'm proud to be your uncle. I don't think I'm ever gonna be okay with that.
Okay.
Like,
Oh.
that's the energy I'm getting. I'm just like, absolutely the fuck not. Love these kids with all my heart and soul. Jesus Christ, you know?
Yeah.
But General Cayde, because you guys are mixing up his titles. He's a general. Actually looks at you, Aster, and goes, "Yep. Well, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to find out what's going to suit you best, what's going to feel comfortable, you're going to have to try everything."
I'm gonna take a moment. Look at him. How do you fight?
In a way they never expect.
You want to spar?
His eyes narrow ever so slightly. Don't you have midterms?
I have friends to study with tonight, and I don't think we'd spar until nightfall because Auntie would kill both of us.
She can try. But yeah. Come
You
on.
try for you. She'll succeed with me.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yes. Look, I don't know what it is, but when she throws massive things at people, it scares me because is that genetic? Am I just one day gonna wake up and go like, oh look, a Prius lift? Or what? What happened there?
Cade just stares off into the distance, like in that manner of reminiscing about the good old days.
Oh yes, the good old days when when Julia was chucking Honda Civics at people.
Like she wouldn't chuck a Honda Civic at Ezekiel.
You know what? Fair. She would chuck a lot of those.
They weigh about as much as a churro, so.
It would be the Batman meme equivalent of for Gotham, but with Honda Civics instead.
God damn it. So you spar with your uncle. He's not the general right now. He's not in a war council. He's not doing business. He's just sparring with you. And you know he's holding back. Of course he is. But he is meeting you on your level type of restraint. Which you of all people, both in and out of character, know how hard that is to do.
Oh yeah.
So keep track of that spar. Just make a note of it. I'll ask you later about it.
Okay. So
So after a while in sparring, you kind of exhaust yourself, but not fully, and you part ways with your uncle, who looks nonplussed, like he didn't waste a single breath, as usual. And you head back to the dorms, where you're probably, like, it's not quite nightfall, it's more getting to sunset levels of nightfall. I feel like it's a good point to try and move on to midterms week.
yeah.
At least for the last 40 minutes.
Yep.
So, who wants to go first for midterms week? And try and give an answer.
I'd like to go.
Alright.
volunteer too, and then I realized I was fucking muted still.
So which one of you wants to go?
Rock, paper, scissors. Type your answer, then send it at the same time.
Alright. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
God
Are you serious?
Okay, alright.
One more time.
Wait, hang on. Is it 2 out of 3 or is it just 1?
Just one.
Just one.
Alright.
Just need to win one. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, there
Yes.
we go. I've
Double
lost.
rocks always win.
All right. So, Aster,
Yes.
you're 1 minute out at full speed from being within range of a longbow to your target, and they believe you've lost them. You have a clear line of sight downwind with your gun from an outcropping nearby, but in your spot of choice, you could alert other predators nearby with a gunshot. What do you do?
Move forward 30 seconds and fire the bow.
Why is it safer to take a pistol over a rifle to an artillery range?
Pistol is less power and easier to handle.
Between two Dream Eaters, one is much stronger but ultimately slower, while the other is much faster but weaker. Which do you believe should come out on top as the victor?
Faster one. Skill will overtop strength over time.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next since since it was between me and him.
When giving someone a boost to their morale, what is the type of tune you should carry if possible for the situation?
Something lively and inspirational, like a sort of marching tune. Potentially.
Though far from a star-led individual such as a cleric or paladin, even bards have beliefs that guide them. What is the first tenet of being a bard regardless of acute path?
Pursuit of the truth.
What situation is best to use the F-sharp minor chord?
Somber situations.
Okay. Who wants to go next? I'm kind of tempted to ask if Tala wants to go so I can drive Kuri insane.
Well, I was going to ask, can I just send you written answers because my brain is not cooperating with wanting to do this out loud.
Yeah, alright. Who wants to write them down and send them to me? Because then we can use the rest of the time to discuss in character if you guys are going to leave after lockdown.
I would like to write mine down.
Alright.
I might also mine down.
Okay. So
So
all
basically,
those
Kuri and I could have just written down our answer.
you still can, because I use those to judge if you like pass with flying colors, pass or fail.
I'll put them in the notes then.
Yeah. So you guys go ahead and do that. If you end up like taking a long time because it's a complicated question, don't worry. I just need them before next session, that's all. But once you are at a point where you can find yourself comfortable, I can explain how you guys are currently set up.
Boom. There we go.
How are you guys feeling so far?
Pretty good actually.
Oops. When did that happen to my Discord? That's weird.
So after this session, are we finally out of lockdown?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's why I'm using the last 30 minutes for you guys to in character discuss if you're going to leave or not.
Okay.
Because a full week would have passed for all of your studies to come into effect.
And out of just general curiosity, how soon do we get to find out on whether or not we passed?
When I go over all of your answers and I tell you in your notes. Hi, welcome to I actually made a certain test pass or fail thing.
I both love and hate that.
I'm good.
You guys are doing wonderfully for what it's worth.
Could we get vibe checks for our answers?
No.
I roll insight.
No. I could make a Pathfinder joke here, but I'm not gonna because then you won't understand it.
No, try
Go
me.
DC 120.
Motherfucker.
Yaga.
What was it? Was it persuasion or insight or something?
DC 120 is a Pathfinder joke.
DC, in other words, it's DC, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Is that even possible to hit?
And
With Pathfinder, yeah.
Terrifying.
It's part
but not impossible.
It's part of the reason why Nini has been continuously saying that Kuri should have done the original Kingdom Hearts campaign in Pathfinder. Because then we wouldn't have to have done the fucking 3 different character sheet bullshit.
Is everybody comfortable with the answers that they've given?
I have.
And this is something that can be sent after
Yeah.
the session, yeah? For
Mhm.
for any of our slower typers?
Yeah.
I am never comfortable with answers I give for tests.
I believe in you, Nia.
Heart
At
of the
least
cards.
one of
Well, everyone has sent in their answers, so I can go over those in after session and give those to you. But it is officially almost Halloween, or All Hallows for those who celebrate it. Currently, for reference, I'm going to get this wrong, so I'm going to look it up. Yeah, I was going to say the wrong one.
What were you going to say?
All Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Close, but not quite correct.
It is the day before Halloween. Because it's All Hallows, All Saints, and All Souls. In no order. So, it is the day before Halloween, and people are absolutely going insane with their dressing up, and like it's one of those things of if a cosplayer could get away with making a bizarre outfit, they'd do it on Halloween. Like that's the energy of the Academy right now.
Oh,
What's that, Nia?
why wait for Halloween?
Mood. But here's a question that's going to be fun for you guys. What are you dressing up as, if you are at all?
Tsubasa was probably going to do something like just a fucking sheet over his head.
I've been ready for this.
No!
Razz voice, I'm ready for this. Terror!
Shrimp.
You can. Goddamn, Razz.
The shrimp costume. It looks like it's from
Shrimply
Walmart.
delicious.
Cursed. Cursed.
Anyways.
Fun that there's not a bottom to that costume.
How would a shrimp have legs, Cayde?
They do.
They do
Wearing
have
her
legs.
pajama pants.
I know. Never mind.
Either way,
I hate it here. I hate you guys. Thanks.
let's not get
You know-
too far off the rails, please.
Ma, the kids are being wacky.
You know the pilot suits that they have in like Evangelion and other like mech things?
Go ahead and place yourself where you'd be in your dorms as you're setting up for Halloween. I will say, you guys absolutely do fucking know that the only reason Lex isn't dressing up is because his life's a joke. He will say that to your face.
I know
What?
what I'm wearing.
I don't. mm-mm. I
Oh
don't know.
no concept. Tsubasa wearing like that kind of safari looking thing and having Rattles with him as a part of his costume.
What's up, Arthur?
I don't think Arthur's ever done Halloween. It doesn't seem right. I don't know.
I don't think either of them have, because their life is the way that it is.
Yeah.
It's mostly just a day for them.
Question.
Yep.
Can I change my answer to helping Arthur and Lex?
What do you mean?
I was gonna say like Esther's wearing a silly outfit and then he'll just change into people. And on the back he just has a little sign that says sorry for using your face. It's simply for a bit.
Such a dangerous game.
But now I just want to see if he can help Lex and Arthur just actually enjoy the holiday.
Probably go right there. That's unfair.
I put Lex in the spa room specifically for the joke of, oh, he's relaxing, is he?
Is he really?
Probably. It's Halloween. He understands the day is for joking around.
The
Or day
joke is
before Halloween.
relaxes.
Yeah.
God.
This is basically just another April Fool's for him. That's what it is.
Right, I thought we were going to discuss about whether or not we were staying at the academy.
Yeah. You're supposed to.
Then why did we get told to split up?
Because it's almost Halloween.
It's fun to show costumes. Oh, that'd be adorable for Helia.
Ooh, Tinker Bell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm bad at outfits. I'm bad at costumes. I don't know what Tsubasa would wear. Just someone put him in something.
Gnomes.
I do have an alternative idea. Sushi.
No.
Stop that, Razz.
Why does that look like a picture you actually took yourself?
I didn't. I found it on Pinterest.
Okay.
I found it on Pinterest.
Please. Oh god, I just had the worst idea.
Go for it.
No. It's gonna show my interests and I'll die.
Proceed.
Ugh.
Go for it.
Lex dressing up as Seal Phantom Hive.
Yes.
God damn it.
Fucking incredible.
Fucking at least bringing Tsubasa out of his dorm room because just like midterms are over. I wonder what everyone else is doing now.
Going insane is what's happening.
I'm looking at the sushi costume, so yeah. I genuinely cannot think of a natural way to bring the entire group together to actually discuss what we need to.
You can't technically just discuss it out of character and say that when you guys come back from basically trick-or-treating, tomorrow you can, in game at least, you can.
Yeah.
Right now we're just sharing.
I put him back in the dorm room then. Oh no. What am I doing?
Your best.
You can technically run a scene in the next 20 minutes if you want to do something specific.
I don't really have anything specific. I just thought it'd be interesting for them to actually discuss it in character, but
You do have the group chat for a reason.
yeah, that is true.
That is considered canon. I'm dying slowly.
Clearly. But does this...
Wait, what's up, Cherry?
Don't worry about it. I'm just fumbling right now.
Alright. I mean, if we're only just going through, I forgot the word.
Costumes?
Yes. If we're just going through, costumes, we can technically call it here and just be silly for a while.
Are we done with sessions then?
Everybody okay with that?
I'm fine with it.
Sure.
Yeah.